Buongiorno, carissimi. Good morning, good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you as you begin your pilgrimage in Rome and speak a little bit about this big church that you're going to visit, St. Peter's. St. Peter's is sometimes called the Mother Church of the Christians. It's the basilica where the Holy Father celebrates when he's celebrating as the Pope of the Universal Church. You'll probably see St. John Lateran as well. That's the cathedral he uses when he's celebrating as the Bishop of Rome. You probably don't need those technicalities. But let me say a little bit about the place you're visiting. You're very close to the place where St. Peter gave his life for Christ. St. Peter was crucified on the Vatican Hill, by tradition up with his head pointed down, because he said he was not worthy to die in the same way that Jesus died. He was buried in a graveyard that already existed. If you drill down 150 feet or so below the high altar, the big altar that you're going to see inside the church, you'll get to that graveyard. There are tours available down there, but they're a little hard to get into, and I'm not sure whether your visit includes that. But practically since his death in about 64 AD, people have worshipped in the place where you're going to walk. After Christianity was legalized by the Emperor Constantine in 325 AD, the first basilica was built. And you'll probably see when you go underneath the main floor of the basilica, the remains of that first church that stood until the early Middle Ages. And it was during the High Middle Ages and the Renaissance, so about 1,000 years later, that the present St. Peter's was built. And every great artist of Italy and really Europe contributed in some way. Now, St. Peter's has a couple real special meanings for me. First, I was ordained there as a bishop on October 9th, 2010. So when you get up to the front of the church, if you see a dent in the floor, that's where I was kneeling and where I lay on my face as the Litany of the Saints was being sung. And believe me, I was a lot more nervous than I am today talking to you. I worked not far from St. Peter's in one of the buildings of the Vatican, and did that for 2.5 years before Pope Benedict asked me to come to Indianapolis. The other reason I think it's important, this visit to St. Peter's, is the connection that it makes. When people ask me, why do you like being a Catholic? I say, well, among the reasons I like being a Catholic is I like the feeling of being connected. I'm connected not just with 1 billion people across the face of the earth today, but I'm also connected with all those people that went before me. And you're visiting the burial place of one of those very important people with whom I and you are connected, and that's Peter. Peter the fisherman, Peter the one who denied Christ and came back to him, received his forgiveness, and then a great mission that led him eventually to the center of Western civilization at that time, the city of Rome, where he gave up his life for Christ. A saint of the late 4th century, St. Ambrose, who was a bishop of Milan, about 200 miles north of Rome, said in Latin, ubi Petrus, ibi Christus. Where there's Peter, there is Christ. And his way of saying that the connection with Peter is so important because of the mission Jesus gave him and the authority that he gave him, that wherever the successor of Peter is, or where he is respected, we find the fullness of the church. So I hope you enjoy this visit to St. Peter's. I'd ask you to pray for me there, that I can be a good bishop and give my life in witness to Jesus. And I hope afterwards, because you'll need some strength, you can find a nice place for gelato. And I'm sure that Father Meyer knows more than one nice place. God bless you. Arrivederci.